time to chat with Michele, 1L Cummins, no G, here on the Cummins Real Estate Group show. How are you doing this fine morning, Michele?
Fine as it ever is and was, Curtis. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. I mean, hey, you know, we got a little bit of a later August heat wave here, so all is good.
I think it's going to last a bit, and I think the hot market we're having is also going to last a while, so it's all good.
Yeah, and the hot market is something that we like to hear about. Now, you know, that's one thing that I've been meaning to ask you about a little bit. Now, as somebody who's been doing this for a long time.
Long.
Just kidding. But I know you've been doing this, 17 years?
Yeah, so about.
Yeah, so 17 years of being in real estate. Now, I know you've never had to deal with something like a pandemic before, but are you a little surprised by the fact that the prices have held as well as they have here in the Fraser Valley?
Honestly, I am shocked. I am really shocked. Like, in my heart and in my gut, I felt we were going to be okay. We were going to hold strong. We were going to be fine through it all. But I am shocked. I can't believe that July has been the highest prices for detached homes we have ever had, ever in the Fraser Valley. This July, last month, and August we're halfway through, and it has not let up. It has still been as strong, if not stronger. It is really crazy. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, it's been fascinating to watch, and every week we talk, and you come on here and you go through some of the market stats, and then we get the monthly stats, and I'm like, I really thought things would slow down a little bit. I mean, I know people still have to buy and sell houses, and people have new jobs and things like that, but you would have thought that just through the natural progression of 5 months of the world being, part-time almost, that things would have slowed down and prices would have dropped, but it hasn't been the case.
It's true. Sometimes you just never can tell, and we don't know all the driving factors, but we can guess and take calculated guess that it's like you think a lot of people have lost their jobs or their jobs have been on hold, but there's been other ways they've either made money or they've adapted or they've changed the way they've done things, and it's been really, really interesting. And that was something, and because, I mean, they've been paying, a lot of people have been doing a lot of at-home, renovations that they haven't been able to get done because they've been working, so now that they're home, they're finally doing these things. And so people are shopping, people are still buying things, and real estate is a big one, and a lot of people have felt like their places have been too small. The real huge shift I've noticed is bigger homes, buying bigger homes and making that change now, a lot of it out of the hustle and bustle of places, and sometimes getting it away, a little bit further away, a little bit quieter, a little bit, maybe off grid in a way, because people are not wanting to rely on, the systems as much as we usually do. That's sort of a little bit too, but it is interesting to see with people and the banks being tighter and harder to get funding and mortgages on, that things are still moving, and that prices are not just not going down, they're not even staying stable, they're going up, they're not staying flat. So it is pretty interesting. And I was going to say, out of all of 5 months, you said 5 months, I can't believe it. So it's been 5 months. What has been something that you've taken from this, Curtis, that's been positive, that you've really, you're happy with, and that you're glad a shift has changed?
Well, if I had to find a silver lining, I would say one that it has been is that because, a father of 3 teenage kids and having a busy lifestyle between hockey and dance and acting lessons and stuff like that, always on the go, never have a lot of time to do some of the projects I want to do around the house. So now, in the last few months, I've been able to, put in, some of the things I've wanted to put in some time around the house. I had to fix a fence. My kid is killed with hockey pucks. I had to, put in some time doing a little bit of painting. Actually, just this weekend, we have a metal banister taken down to the basement, and the paint was chipping and it didn't look great. I took it out, sanded it, and painted it, and just that little change is $1 million. It looks so good now. It looked really bad. Now it looks good.
Sometimes the littlest things are the hardest things to actually do to get done. But then when you do them, it's wow, it makes such a big difference. And you're why didn't I do this before?
Yeah, I mean, even forever I had to put the transitions in from having some my buddy helping me install some hardwood flooring, and I just didn't have time to put the transitions in. I did that, and now it's wow, that's a big difference. That looks great.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great.
Yeah, no, it's been fantastic. And of course, I've had a lot of time with my family, but that's not always a good thing.
I can't wait to see it. I want to see what your banister looks like.
It looks really good, actually. I mean, it was white and it was chipped, and it just didn't look good. It had some gold accents because it has flowers on it. And my wife went, what if we just painted it black? And I went, let's give it a go.
Oh, fancy.
So, yeah, it looks really good. I'm proud of myself.
Well, you should be. Okay, send me a photo. Hey, you should upload a photo on your Instagram.
I should, because I haven't done much on there in a while.
Do that. Okay, so we're going to have some breaking news later on in segment 2 about real estate news. It is breaking news. It's about affordability. It's about getting approved. And again, because the prices have gone up, this is great news for everyone looking at getting the mortgage. Or if you have a pre-approval, now your approval is going to go up because of it. So it's really great news. But I wanted to do a shout out to my brother, my one and only brother, because it's his birthday today.
Oh, that poor guy who grew up with 27 sisters, too.
Yeah. Oh, happy birthday, Dexter. I'm sure he's being spoiled. Our little Facebook message family chat and our texting family chat has been going crazy for his birthday. And don't ask me how old he is, because I do not remember.
Now, if memory serves me, is he the youngest?
Second to youngest.
Second youngest. So it was a whole bunch of girls, then him, then one more girl.
Oh, yeah, they tried and tried and tried. My mom wanted, 32 kids, and she finally came to realization when she was an adult that 32 is almost impossible, for one person to have naturally. So she did try. They did try, and they had, I think it was 3 miscarriages in between them all, and then a 4th one at the last. But after Tim, oh, my gosh, my dad tricked me. He's got dry humor, and he was doing the dishes one day. I come down, and this is when we lived in Southern California. I'm like, where's Mom? Because it's like, Dad, you don't do the dishes. Where's Mom? This is crazy. Why are you doing the dishes? And he's like, she's at the hospital. Oh, my gosh, she had the baby? Yes. What did she have? What did she have? She had a boy. She's just straight. And I'm like, stop it, Dad. Stop playing with me. Stop it. I was like, she did not. And he let me believe that for a bit, and I'm like, I wouldn't believe it. And then, but yeah, and it was a boy. I mean, he wasn't joking, but it was real, and it was crazy. So then they tried again, though, and then they had a girl. So it was like,
and you have there's 8 of you total, right?
Oh yes, 8 is enough.
8, and there's no twins in there.
No twins.
Wow.
I know. Yeah, and no redheads. Because my Uncle Rusty was a redhead, of course. Uncle Rusty is always a redhead. So there was redhead. And then one of my sisters had 2 redheads herself. So I think redheads jump a generation is what I've heard.
It could be.
Yeah, maybe.
Could very well be. I was just thinking, 8 kids without any twins, because my mom came from a big family. There was 9 of them, and but there's a set of twins in there at least.
Oh my gosh, I love twins. Are they identical?
No, we went into my aunt, it's an aunt and an uncle, so no, they're not identical. They there's the family resemblance, but they don't look that close.
Girl.
Yeah.
Well, the guy who plays Jughead on Riverdale, did you know he's a twin?
Yeah, that's what's his name? Is it Cole or Dylan Sprouse? Which one is it?
Cole, I think.
Yeah, because he used to be on a kids show on Disney called The Secret Life of Zach and Cody.
I think you're right.
Yeah, and then my kids were really into that at the time when they were young, and he was, I think, him and the brother, I think, weren't they the kid in Adam Sandler's Big Daddy movie or something like that? I can't remember it. I thought they were the kid in a different movie too.
That I don't know, but I believe it because I was watching Secretariat, the horse movie, and there was it was a DVD. I put the DVD in the machine, and there were special features he was in, and I saw him as a little teenager, young boy, and with his brother, and it was the craziest thing. And they were all talking about something that we don't do nowadays, a Blu-ray, and how amazing Blu-ray is. And it was a funny little commercial, and their real mom was on it.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
It was really neat. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's the thing, though. And when you've been, work on enough films and things like that, usually when they have kids, they usually try to get twins, right? So they can work them longer, work shorter shifts, but they can work the full day.
Exactly. Oh, the guy who played in Smallville, he played the photographer, Jimmy Olsen. So he is a twin as well. And they've done tons of stuff in Canada, BC Film, tons. And you never know if it's one or the other because they're identical,
right?
Exact looking like.
Yeah,
hey, do you do TikTok? I was going to ask.
I don't have a TikTok account, but I do go on and watch the TikTok videos. I'm not going to lie.
Is Kelly on TikTok?
She watches the videos far too much, actually.
Are your kids on TikTok?
Absolutely.
Okay, I figured so. I was thinking I haven't even gone on there yet, but there's enough talk. I'm thinking, maybe I should try it out.
There's some fun stuff. There's a lot of a lot of garbage you have to shift through. A lot that's the most important thing you did today was make that 10-second video of you doing that. But there could be some really interesting stuff like it was scary, but to watch. But the Beirut explosion. There is about 100 different angles and views and filming of that explosion from really close to far away. It shows you just the size and the severity of it.
Oh, whoa. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Is it like a search engine? Can you search for things?
You can a little bit. I'm still kind of new to it myself, and my kids are really embarrassed that I go on there. So.
I bet. Is there like hashtags that you use, like on Instagram?
Well, that I'm not a millennial or a kid, so I don't know that much about it.
What am I asking you for?
I'm a Generation Xer. This is new technology. It's scary to me.
You know, I love what the station put on your guys' Instagram with Dolly Parton talking about the Black Lives Matter and her take on expressing ourselves.
Yeah.
It was really great.
You can always count on Dolly for a great quote.
It was great.
Really, Dolly has this uncanny ability to cut through the garbage and just lay it straight in her own way.
And she is who she is.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? I'm thinking we got to take a break. So before we do that, let's tell people how they can get in touch with you.
Cummins.ca.
All right, we're back with more right after this. And we are back with segment number 2 here of the Cummins Real Estate Group show with the one and only Michele Cummins and myself, Curtis Pope. Now, we were briefly talking about Dolly Parton earlier. We love Dolly. Now, I get that things are very politicalized in your home country, but is there any way you manage to get it all taken care of by just getting Dolly Parton to become president?
Oh, we should. Oh my gosh, that would be. Let's try a movement.
If there's somebody that can unite the country, it's Dolly.
Oh, that would be great. She's pretty wise. She's an amazing person.
She is. I've always had a lot of respect for Dolly, and I do love the fact that she speaks her mind, but she does it in such a common sense, matter-of-fact approach.
Yes. You know what? I bet you if anybody ever approached her about that, she'd be like, there's no way. What would be her response? I can only imagine.
She'd be like, look at me. They're not making me president. Can you see me sitting across from, Vladimir Putin? Really?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, that's great. Okay. I can't wait to actually meet her one day. I mean, I did see her in concert, but I didn't get to meet her.
Yeah, I've never met her. I've seen her in concert as well, and she is kind of my dream interview. I would love to interview Dolly Parton.
Oh, Curtis, please do so. Can I be a fly on the wall when you do?
Oh, absolutely. People always say, who's your dream interview? Because I love interviewing people, and I'm like, it'd be Dolly Parton.
Can I be your photographer?
Well, sure.
Your videographer, your Instagrammer, your TikToker?
Absolutely. If I ever get the chance to interview her in person, you are my right hand.
Yay! Awesome. Okay, and maybe I could help her get something here in BC.
I'd probably be hardly able to talk to Dolly Parton, but the good news is with Dolly Parton, she takes it and runs anyway, so you don't have to do much.
So natural she is.
Yeah, absolutely. So now let's see, what do we got here? I know we have to do some official stuff and not just talk about country legends.
Okay, so before we get into the amazing breaking news, I wanted to talk about a couple of new listings that just hit the market this last week, so in the last few days, and some coming up ones because they're really unique. So one is this brand, like it's almost brand new. It's only 2 years old. It's on almost 9,000 square foot lot. It's actually in Hope. It's a rancher with a walkout basement. It's on the corner, so it's got government land all around it. It's private. It's got views. The river is right there next to it. Mountain views are amazing. It's actually set up so nicely. I've got this amazing video. My videographer is amazing, but I still want to be yours for Dolly, just to get that clear. But my videographer, he did an amazing job. So there's drone video and inside video, and they actually have like a Airbnb kind of room that they built, a one-bedroom suite downstairs, because there's walking trails all around, and it's around government land and river, and it's just amazing. So I'm actually just showing it for the first time today, this afternoon. I'm going out there, going to take a beautiful drive, and it's on Kettle Valley Place. It's only $848,000. So again, it's only 2 years new. It's a total of 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, because it's 2 bedrooms and 2 full bathrooms on the main rancher level, and then downstairs next to or adjacent through a hallway, there's a whole nother kind of bachelor suite that could be used as another Airbnb or an in-law suite, or you can make it into a games room, but really, really neat. It's a total of 3,400 square feet. So that's a brand new listing. Happy to show anybody it, but you can check it out on my website. And then another new listing on the total opposite side of the world is in New Westminster. It's on the 3rd floor of a high tower off Nelson's Crescent. So it's in the Sapperton building. So it's got amazing gym and facilities, rooftop hangout deck. And the roof on the rooftop deck is like a big bottle opener. So if you're in the sky in a plane, you look down, it looks like a big bottle opener. But
cool.
It's a 522 square foot, 1 bedroom, and rentals are allowed in that building. It's literally only like 3 days on the market. It's priced at $439,800, and that is just gorgeous. Again, lots of photos and videos on my website to check that one out. And then, this coming week, I've got a rare 13-acre private property off Morris Valley Road. So that's in Harrison Mills area, like just past before you go up to Hemlock Mountain Resort and like past Sandpiper Golf Course. It's a great location. So it's right next to the lake and just a few minutes from Harrison River and the golf course. So 40 minutes from Easton Mission off the Lougheed Highway, I would say, but great for outdoor adventuring like fishing, quadding, biking, hiking. You can actually, this is an off-grid type of property. It's on its own well. There's a little cabin there right now and like a sea can, but really it's a land purchase, and you can do anything you want on it, and it's a really good size. So it's really amazing. There was a subdivision application to subdivide into 5 acres, like 5 acre off of it. So there's some potential there too. So that's great. And that's priced at only $599,000. So really good. And then I've got a 5-acre development property coming up in Brookswood, actually on Monday. It's probably going to go live Tuesday, actually. And it's right off of 32nd. It's actually adjacent to a great park. And so this is a development property adjacent to park, which everyone loves when it comes to development. 5 flat acres, no encumbrances, no creeks, no nothing on the property. So it is fully usable and really close to 200th Street. So great opportunity. The price point there is about $5 million. And then I've got this cute pre-sale of a condo in Mission, and it's in Wren and Raven, which I have 2 units there myself that I pre-bought, and this complex is not going to be built for 3 to 4 years, about that. So you're getting the place for today's prices, but for tomorrow's values. I mean, you're getting today's price, and you only have to put 15% down. So in 2, 3, 4 years, whenever before completion, if you don't want to close on it, you can assign it. Or you can, and this is what this is an assignment anyways. She bought it, and she just wants to assign it right away. Her plans have changed. So that's what's happening with this. It's an assignment sale I'm doing. But yeah, so 15% down, and it's 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom, but this one's a nice unit. It is facing south, and it's got a rooftop deck. It's actually one of the biggest decks in the whole complex, and you've got river and mountain views. So it's got best of all worlds. 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, priced at $525,000. So again, only 15% down. It's a great way to put your money down on something and let it grow without you having to do a thing.
Yeah, because Red and Raven, they have some pretty good incentives, do they not?
They have really good incentives, yes. They do. So it's really good. And they've got tons. They've got like in-floor heating, and they've got really cool designs in their design plan too.
Very cool.
Yeah. So that, and then as well, actually an amazing view property, which is it's coming up on Mount Woodside. So it kind of Agassiz address, but some people consider it Harrison Mills, but it's on Mount Woodside. It's actually in the development that I sold, the phase 1, Harrison Highlands. Mm-hmm. So it's only a couple years old. It's a basement entry home, easily to suite. And again, you can make a bed and breakfast, would be great there, or an Airbnb, or, you could suite it if you want in-law suite or whatnot. But really nice basement entry home, views of the river and the mountains and the valley. But it's got an amazing stairwell that brings you up to a walkway that is just grand. An artisan log company built this amazing, huge, it's just gorgeous. Above, the property is very large, behind the property, and you go up, and the views up there, that's where all the gardens are, and that's where the outdoor kitchen is, and the big covered area, and it's just gorgeous. And that one is priced at $1,099,000. So that's coming up next week too. And then that's for next week's new listings coming up. But I wanted to mention, I've got some amazing things on my website. And I know we talk about my website a lot to let people know how to get a hold of me. But just to let everyone know, I've got lists monthly. I keep them updated on all foreclosures. If you go under the tab that says that listings, it says listings. If you hover over that tab, it'll bring you to my listings, but then it'll also bring you to specific listings of not only my listings, but what's available. And that's all foreclosures in the area. All estate sales is a separate list in the area. Then I've got all waterfront properties. And then I've got all horse properties, equestrian properties. Then I've got a link to all commercial listings. And then I got a link to all investment properties, or some investment properties. Investment properties vary quite a bit, but there's some in there. And then we've got land only. And then I've got a whole list of farms and more than that. So my website is hopefully very efficient and user-friendly, but it also hopefully gives a lot of value and a lot of information. So I just wanted to make sure everyone knew there's that good information on there. So I should bring up now our real huge brand new news on the real estate front, and that is the stress test has just been lowered. Again. So yeah, Canada's mortgage stress test level falls for the third time since pandemic began. A third time. So the test was designed to cool the overheated housing market at the time by making sure borrowers would be able to pay back their loans if rates were to suddenly rise. So in the beginning of the year, January 1st, these were happening, but then the pandemic happened, and then they started lowering the stress test to make it a little easier. So this is the third time they've lowered it. Even if a borrower could get a mortgage at, for example, to explain how this works, at like 3%, that person's lender was obligated to crunch the numbers as though the rate was higher at around 5%. For example, to make sure the loan wouldn't be too onerous for the borrower to pay back at their income level if the rates were to suddenly rise. If the borrower failed the test at the higher rate, the lender wasn't allowed to them to give it to them, even if they wanted to. So, I mean, they really were just trying to protect themselves as a bank, like whether or not it's an insured mortgage. They just wanted to make sure people didn't default on their mortgages, and wanted to make sure, of course, if anything changed in their financial debt ratio or ability, that they were, that's what the stress test was all about. But it really made the market in 2018 actually shift quite a bit when they implemented it in the first place. And that was at around 5%, whether or not the rates were, like I said, 3%, didn't matter. So that testing rate has already been lowered twice. So this last week, it was the third time. So first in mid-March, they lowered it and dropped it by 15 points from 5.19% to 5.04%. And then again in May, it dropped another 10 points, which brought it to 4.94%. So the stress test has been lowered now to, get this, 4.79%. So that actually brings up a little bit more availability, which is really, really good. So what does that mean for a home buyer financially? Like, what am I talking about dollar-wise? How does this help me? So here's an example. I always like seeing the numbers, right? So at the old level, a borrower who earns $100,000 a year, for example, and has 10% down payment would have been stress test at 4.94% and be approved for a loan on a home valued at up to $523,410. At the new stress test level, that same borrower would be approved for a loan on a home costing up to $531,230. So that's a difference of almost $8,000. And so this is the last time it was lowered. So if you can imagine from the first time to this third time it was lowered, it just helps so much more. So couple this with the low interest rates, and it's just an amazing time to buy a home. Even though it's a seller's market, and even though, as mentioned, detached homes are the highest they've ever been, it is amazing time to be a buyer as well. I know it's funny how can it be all good for all people, but literally it is. And it's because, too, the Fraser Valley is known for our equity and our equity growth. And we are literally, and I'm not just biased, we are the best place to own and live. I believe, and a lot of other people do, in the world. So give me a call if you're looking at starting up your house hunting journey. I'd love to help you at 778-885-4659. Always Google my name. But, you know, a lot of people, the questions are like, people ask, are house prices dropping in Canada overall? And Curtis, you were talking between our segments, you were asking, is this just here in our area, or like, is this across Canada, or what's happening? But you know what? It literally, our market is the best market in all of Canada. So we are seeing a difference here. We are stronger than other areas. But still, everyone's saying, from the RE/MAX stats to the Royal LePage stats, the economists, everyone's saying that the rest of 2020 housing market is going to be strong, and we're expecting growth. We had our chief economist was at our monthly office meeting this last week. We do a Zoom meeting every month, and everyone was wondering, okay, what do you think is happening or going to happen and continue to happen? And sure enough, it wasn't all the doom and gloom that a lot of people would have thought. So it's all good, actually. It's pretty positive. So yeah, that was really good.
Very cool. All right. Well, with that, we're coming to close to the end of the show here.
Now, do you have a quote of the week for us, Curtis?
I do, because I have a whole lot of favorite quotes, and this is one of mine. And it's, if your dreams don't scare you, they are too small.
Lovely. Oh, yay.
And that is from Sir Richard Branson.
Oh, I love it.
Yes, I'm a big Richard Branson fan. I know he's a little crazy. I like my billionaires a little crazy, so.
Good to know.
All right, so if people want more information about what you do, what can they do?
MicheleCummins.ca.
And make sure you tune in again next week when once again we will talk about real estate in order to unlock your real estate potential on a show where real estate is maximized. Thanks for listening.